morning, good afternoon, good evening, because we have people from all around the globe. Welcome to EA Live, another episode. I think this is the sixth, right, Florencia? Is the or the fifth?
It is. I mean, we started a
Yes.
couple of weeks ago, and we're here once again on our EA Live live stream. Where, for those who this is their first time here, this is where we share what we're doing, developing, and creating here at Edgar Allan. We are here every Friday or every other Friday. If you missed the previous episodes, you can check them out in our YouTube channel here, where we had Kendra, we had Mason, we had Felix also
Yeah.
doing a
Amazing
live build
episodes.
of
Yeah.
Punch List. So you can subscribe and hit the like button.
Yeah. Don't remember is
Yeah,
that's help us a lot. So you like the button because help that YouTube algorithm to share the content to the rest of the people. So thank you everybody for being here. We have already people. Andreas, hello, Andreas. Mason, hello, Mason. Diego, Dale, Ivan, also from the team.
hi.
And today's gonna be wild. I think I'm so excited for today's topic. Everything is
I
excited,
know.
but this one is really cool because it's related also with the Webflow. And here we have Tino. Tino is part of the team. Tino Hakoski. Did I pronounce properly, Tino? He's senior design technologist. I think he's mute. Let me. Yeah, you need to
Yeah, yeah,
mute. There you
yeah.
go. So yeah,
Hey,
Tino is a senior design technologist at EA, and he's one of the team members that is working on the EA 3D World that we will release pretty soon. They are working so hard, and we are so excited for this project. So, well, thank you, Tina, for being here today and share all your knowledge. So, yeah, you want to introduce yourself?
yeah. Thank you guys for having me. It's gonna be my first live stream, so it uh, may be kind of messy, but I will try to do my best. Yeah, my name is Tino. I am a designer, and I do design for almost 10 years, probably something like that. Yeah. And yeah, I started from graphic design, then transitioned to UX UI design, then to product design, and yeah, I just tried everything in this field, and then finally I explored 3D space and realized that um this is the perfect combination of um technology and design, and I just stick to it. And
Yeah,
yeah, I'm happy to do it ever since.
sure. So
So
I would like to
yeah,
share. You guys have any question? Probably we're going to have a ton of question because Tina is going to cover different technologies, how you can make 3D in web, not only in Webflow, but in the web in general. Software like Blenders, Spline, 3JS. So today Tino is gonna make a demonstration in Spline how to make project in Spline, and then we can move to Webflow. And this is gonna be one video of a different series. We're going to make like I don't know, but probably 4 or 5 videos of how to do 3D for Webflow. So you are going to learn a lot. So please, if you have any question, leave in the chat. We have more people. Hi Jerry. Hi Maria. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, Tina, you want to? I can share your screen and we can start talking about
yeah,
3D.
I just can share a little bit
Yeah,
of my personal projects and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we're waiting for people coming to the live stream. So yeah.
sure.
Um, yeah, so I just do this kind of really love do this stylized
So
3D
cool.
and stuff like that. Sometimes I do more like realistic works, but at the same time, it's kind of cartoony looking things. these things and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Wow.
have also Behance profile where I try to share more like
Mhm.
process and keys of the process and stuff like that.
Wow.
Um
That's
yeah,
insane.
That's
and
amazing. Yeah.
That's really cool.
thank you guys. Yeah, and I figured that we actually can show some
Yeah.
part of the uh, EA game we're working on. So yeah, everything you see on the screen,
Mhm.
we created at Edgar Allan, and everything 3D wise is was done by me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's super cool.
uh,
It's amazing project.
all the animations and stuff. Yeah, really, um,
Yeah, we're very excited
really
to launch this product. Hopefully, it will be very very soon.
Mhm.
So we are very excited to show it to the world and
Yeah.
get feedback also from the entire
absolutely.
community.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
soon. Pretty soon. It's almost
yeah.
there.
Fingers crossed, right? Um,
Yeah. Of
yeah.
course.
So sometimes I share some small like 3JS related prototypes to Twitter and
Mhm.
to community that we're going to talk about a little later. But yeah, you can pretty much go to my GitHub profile, see the code, and learn something probably. So
Mhm.
this is just a
Yeah.
example
That's
to
really cool.
to
This is 3JS, right? This is
yeah,
for
yeah,
the people in the community that doesn't know what is 3JS. What is 3JS actually?
yeah. 3JS is like JavaScript library
Hmm.
to run your 3D things in web using JavaScript, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's a pretty like uh, big community that 3JS has, and
Hmm.
for the last couple of years, this community is getting bigger because of the no code tools and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
uh, yeah, it's
So this is for like your to go for 3D instead of Spline, or it depends of the projects you use one technology or the other. Because Spline is like more no code oriented, I guess, no, and 3JS
yeah.
is more code, no.
Uh, Yeah, Spline is absolutely no code tool to create 3D and I don't know, import
Hmm.
your custom models to Spline and then add materials, slides, and stuff like that. But under the hood, it uses 3JS. So I would say 3JS is like a general thing that uh, when you want to use 3D in web, you're gonna use it some way or another
Hmm.
through the spline or through the code.
Hmm.
But yeah, spline is a no code, so it's
Okay, cool.
way
Would
faster.
you say that Spline is a good like starting point to get into 3D, or would
Hmm.
you recommend no, just start with Blender or any other tool?
Uh, it is really hard to uh, distinct them in this manner, but I think that Spline is pretty good tool to get into 3D, but maybe not so deep.
Hmm.
So it's good uh, to see the possibilities, to see the general like workflow, how you can create models, how you I don't know extrude planes and stuff like that. How you learn about like terminology like
Hmm.
faces, vertices, edges, and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
Blender is more technical, I would say. So you have to know what like
Yeah.
what you're doing. So Spline in this manner is easiest way to get into
Oh.
3D. Yeah, but
Yeah, it's like a good way not to start and see, check out if you like it, or you want to jump to deep
yeah,
dive in 3D, and then you can jump to 3JS or WebGL or whatever technology you
exactly.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
this is another prototype of mine. So I create this scroll based
Hmm.
animation. As you can see, I
It's
scrolling
really
and
cool.
yeah. And the last one is the most like the coolest thing. So you can drag all the objects,
Wow.
like yeah, do crazy things like that to
That's
imitate
impressive.
the pool. So yeah, you can add like crazy things to 3GS, like physics based engine,
Hmm.
and create basically a real video game
Anything.
inside of browser. Uh, so yeah,
Because the process for 3JS, do you start in Blender or do you start straight to 3JS? How it's work, the process of development?
uh, yeah, you don't create like things in 3GS. You kind of create interactions there or create a logic
Hmm.
when you like grab this cube, what should it do and stuff like that. But you create models in modeling tools like Blender or
Hmm.
Spline or whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, I can share maybe some little bit of the code. uh, No, it's probably gonna be very boring, but yeah,
Yeah. For
you can later see it. And yeah,
yeah, there's a here there that says considering Vectory Spline want to integrate into Webflow. Yeah, there are good options. No, did you try Vectory, Tino?
yeah, I saw this one, but I really kind of stick to Blender in my day-to-day job. But I keep exploring new
Hmm.
things just to know what is going on in
Yeah,
the industry. But yeah, Spline is my go-to tool to kind of show people what 3D is and
yeah,
what you can do with it and stuff like that. Yeah.
makes sense. So what is
Um,
that? What is that? The
yeah. This is my attempt to create a 3D community
us.
around like people with no code background. And I just realized how many people want to collaborate, want to learn, want to share knowledge and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I created this community that everyone can really join and yeah, and talk with fellow Webflowers who are learning 3D. And
yeah,
later this year, I will launch some some courses there about
that's awesome.
advanced like Blender things, Tree, JS, Spline,
Hmm.
Webflow stuff. So
Hmm.
uh, yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
pretty much
I in the community, I deeply recommend to join them. It's a Discord server, so you guys have here the URL, and it's really interesting. If you want to learn more about 3D, that's the place. And yeah, um, that awesome. I mean, now is I think it's the new trend in web. Even though that was back in the day, 3JS is not a new technology. Yeah, like they've been there for a while, but now you see more and more people into this, and it's really interesting. We're seeing more people from the community that they are doing really cool stuff. And yeah, I would love to get into and learn a little bit and make interaction with the 3D and the web. I think it's the future.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Here says
Um,
Diego, Spline and Vectory are really good if you are getting started, but if you don't want to create advanced stuff like complex model, materials, etc., Blender isn't much.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Diego. Yeah,
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 you
hundred
love it.
percent. Yeah,
You love Blender. I can see your eyes.
yeah,
Cool. Awesome.
that's right. So yeah, today we're gonna create
Yeah.
uh, this little animated model. Just wanted to start from something relatively simple and yet like interesting, and it's a good place to start. I guess it is not like as easy as to like create
Hmm.
cube, but it's not as hard as to create a whole game.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's basic kind of layout I created in Webflow, and this part it's 3JS 3D stuff that we're
Hmm.
gonna made in Spline.
Cool.
And our plan is to, with this next episodes of EA Live, we're gonna try to make it more complex and more advanced. We will start today with this spline model, and then we can switch to Blender and try to recreate it there. And
Hmm.
I don't know, I'm gonna bake some lights and uh, basically make the scene more appealing using more advanced techniques. If that makes
That's awesome.
sense. Yeah, so
Yeah.
something like that. Um,
Yeah, because when we started talking about this series, we realized that we had a lot to talk about. So we're like, well, maybe we need more than one episode to like cover everything that 3D involves. And I think it's wonderful because even for us, I mean, I have been in the game. Uh, work, but I haven't seen you like working it live. I always
Yeah.
see how, you know, it looks like at
This
the
is the
end.
final product, but not the process, right?
Exactly. So I'm so excited
y-
to see how it's done. Like how's the like the kitchen of the 3D.
Yeah.
yeah, uh, it's gonna be a new experience for me too, because I didn't like haven't really shared the process,
Hmm.
especially
Hmm.
on live stream. So yeah, I hope it's
Hmm.
gonna be fun and
For
yeah.
sure.
Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, I don't know. We can start or we can wait for
Yeah, we
some
can.
Yeah.
questions or anything.
Yeah, I mean, we can start. Any question, you guys? You have the chat. So.
Okay, so here's the deal. I created this layout, and I really have this color palette in mind. So I was thinking about something like, uh, what if we can create a product uh, about like honey, or is like an app that is gonna be called honey or honeypot or something like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's just a place for your sweet memories. And I was thinking it's gonna be cool to have this 3D stuff in your sign in form. And then I stumbled upon this uh, 3D illustration from Fuva team. I'm
Hmm.
not sure how to pronounce it correctly, but yeah, you can see uh, the link and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, and I wanted to recreate it as close as possible using Spline, because yeah, it's a relatively new tool for me. So I don't have this muscle memory working
Hmm.
in Spline compared to Blender, but yeah, as you do, I believe so. We're gonna start together.
Cool.
Uh, So I recreated it. I changed some colors, changed um, some proportions and stuff like that. But you can see it's all created here with this yeah,
Hmm.
spline tools. So you can change it.
Wow.
You can like do basically whatever you want, and yeah.
Wow. That's really cool.
Uh, so yeah, we're gonna recreate it together so you can see the whole modeling process and
Hmm.
stuff like that. When you create your spline new kind of project, you have this background which is black, and you can uh, right at the gate change it to something more like visible to you, like kind of a
Hmm.
shade of white and stuff like that. We can delete this rectangle and wow, and change it to perspective,
Okay.
because it's really easier to model things in perspective mode. But as you can see, when you're done, you can change it to orthographic camera, so it's more of a
Hmm.
isometric kind of look. So it's in some cases it looks better, and I
Hmm.
think in this case it's like really really good, exactly what we needed. So yeah, um, let's start creating the jar part. And in 3D you have basic shapes. It's a
Hmm.
cube, uh, it's a cylinder, and yeah, it is a sphere.
That doesn't.
Yeah,
Wow.
and all the like complex forms uh, every time includes some sort of a combination of these three shapes.
Hmm.
So when you see uh, hard surface, this complex mech robot thing with the wires and with this I don't know, with the sword and stuff like that. Everything there was built probably with cubes, um, cylinders, and spheres. So you, as a 3D artist, um gonna learn how to read forms and how to turn complex forms for yourself to be able to create it, how to break them down into some simple shapes. So I can stress enough how important to use a reference, uh, because it's really like the only way uh, to read the shape. Because we, as an artist, think that we know the form, but all of a sudden, instead of like jar, we creating some monster thing like this, or like I don't know, uh, yeah, like this or whatever. Like we can mess with proportions and stuff like that. But we're starting with the reference, so we're good. Uh, and yeah, we just need to create cylinder. Make sure when you create the shapes here, you can hold Shift button, and it will be create this proportional sizes, like all the sides X, Y, and Z axes is the same. So yeah, we have this cylinder, and we can like we can start creating something crazy like this and uh, trying to make shape from using like different shapes and stuff like that. But we're gonna um, edit this shape and turn it into something we want it to be. So in Spline, you have to click this smooth and edit, and what it's gonna do is to add additional like subdivision levels to the model. So and that's why we have this edge loop, this kind of thing, smooth, and now it's look like a total mess, and it's smooth but with this edge, strange edge shapes and stuff like that. So we have to create so-called supporting edge loops. Uh, we can do it by hitting like C on the keyboard or choose loop cut. And yeah, we just need to create three of them, and they will help, as you can see, to shape our object as we want. We can move it, and you will see how the um, model changes. We can add uh, subdivision level to make it more smoother. So yeah, and you can change it to something like this. When we model this thing, it may be better to change to orthographic mode because you can see it better and stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, and we're gonna create this this edge loop. And as you can see in the example, this part of the jar is like the most kind of smallest part, and this part at the middle of the jar is most like largest. So that's what we're gonna do. We need to select this one and basically uh, scale it like this. So we have this kind of shape. We can add more subdivision levels. Maybe we can, yeah, we can play with these sizes so it's not like this um, hard transition from the middle to the bottom, as well as here. To be able to scale it proportionally, make sure you also hold shift when you do this. uh, and yeah, it's probably something we're looking for. Maybe not like ideal or something, but yeah, I think it's good to go. The next thing we want to do is to create this kind of a hole and this border around uh, the top of the jar. So it's a little tricky, and especially it's a little tricky for me here because I, as I said, I don't have like muscle memory here, so I need to do it like manually clicking the buttons and stuff like that. But yeah, we have these two things in 3D world. They called extrude and inset. So inset is when you create additional like kind of loop of edges inside the selected area, so you can create as much as you want for some reason. I don't know. And extrude, it's kind of a way to create new geometry on top of like selected ones. So you kind of literally like extruding geometry from the selected
It's
plate.
like shape clay, but
Yeah,
digitally. Basically, is
exactly.
that it's so
Exactly. Yeah, so
awesome.
we're gonna use this technique to extrude it like uh, down here. When you use one extrude, you can imagine like it's kind of a this loop, and it doesn't like create a crisp edges. Uh, if that makes sense, you may want to kind of add additional extrude to create this sort of a smooth transition. Yeah, so I think that's good enough. We don't need to, uh, create the whole like jar inside because no one is gonna be like zooming in the jar, checking is there real honey uh, or it's a trick or something. So this thing is good, and we need to extrude this part as you can see. So we have to create this border, and yeah, the thing is. Uh, Maybe it's a spline problem. Maybe it's me. Probably it's me. But you sometimes can select edge loops because here you can select it like via double click here, here. But you can like select the loop of faces. You have these three different like modes. You can work with your model in faces mode. This polygons called faces. You can work in edge mode. This little edges called edges, and you can work in vertices mode. So kind of change them and yeah, create some crazy things. So sometimes you can like select the loop of the faces. You can do it pretty much in every other like modeling software. I believe like Spline team working on it, or I just couldn't like find the right shortcut for it. But anyway, we should select all the faces that goes around this top of the jar, and yeah, once we selected them all, we can switch to extrude and pretty much create this border. Oh, yeah, maybe something like this. And if we don't like the result, we can select it and maybe change the size, maybe add another edge loop here, so it's kind of supporting the the shape here, as you can see. So you can make it more
Yeah, you make more smooth, no, like the transition.
yeah, yeah. And as you can see, uh, it's not uh, I don't know how to say it. It's not in the right
Not as
shape.
squarey, right?
Yeah, it,
More smooth.
yeah. So we
Yeah, that's
probably
awesome.
need
What you
to.
did from one shape, and how you mold, like how you shape it all, is amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing 3D, because you have this really artistic and very visually process of creating things from from basic shapes, and it is very cool thing to do. Yeah, and once we finish creating the basic like jar model, we can switch to our reference and see uh, what we're missing. We have this stick for the honey. I absolutely don't know how it's called. I saw it like hundreds of times, but yeah, I didn't use it once, and I don't know how it called. But you can say this thing, and we're gonna create it. Uh,
Hey, someone know how it's called? Leave in the chat because I don't know either.
yeah,
I guess honey spoon. I have no idea.
yeah,
Probably.
probably honey spoon is a way better name than stick for honey, as I said. But yeah, something like that probably. Um, yeah, so we don't have a capsule here, I believe. Yeah, because in some 3D software you have this capsule object, which is like this kind of a pill shape. But here we can create it from the cylinder. At least we're gonna try to create it from the cylinder. And this part is gonna be a little bit tricky because we need to kind of get the proportions right, uh, going back and forth between like modeling and seeing the reference. So yeah, it's probably something like that. You always can like switch to orthographic mode and see if it fits, if it like big or something. I think it's
Here we have
way
the
simpler.
name Tino, honey diaper. So
Yeah,
we are
thank you,
we know already.
thank you. Yeah, every day I learn something new. But yeah, and we for just the sake of you know easy work, we can hide jar. We can do it here, and we can work on this thing on honey dipper, honey diaper. Diaper sounds like a diaper, so yeah, I think it's dipper. Anyway, uh, yeah,
Thank
this
you,
thing,
Omkar, for the
yeah.
for the help.
Thank you very much. Yeah, um, yeah. What we're gonna do is, sorry, basically, do the same thing as we did for the jar. We click smooth and edit, and we're starting to see the pattern here. So every time you need to create some um, custom shape, you're gonna add this support edges and yeah, stuff like that. And we can add maybe three level of subdivision. Yeah. And as you can see, um, it's not capsule, right? It's more of a like this strange edgy shape. But that's okay for us because we can um, select this. I don't know. Select this edge loop and do a small trick to make it look like capsule. I'm not sure if I selected them all, but yeah, we can do something like this. We have this strange vertex here. You can see this pointy thing, but that's okay. When you see it like this, we can maybe uh, push it down just a little bit, but overall it's pretty much what we was looking for. And in terms of 3D for web, you really want to make sure you optimize your models, and that means that you doesn't uh, that you like don't have to use 4K 8K textures for your models in web. You don't want to leave um, a lot of geometry that nobody could see. This is pretty much for Webflow folks. It's uh, probably the same thing with optimizing your images before you publish the website, um, clear the unused classes and stuff like that. In 3D, we have the same things, but with geometry and stuff like that. As you can see, we're not gonna see this bottom part of
Now
the
seems like a mate cup, no, Florencia? Seems like
It does.
a
We
small
can
one.
save this shape and use it later for a mate.
yeah,
Totally.
we can using the same technique, maybe, yeah, choose this here, extrude it a little bit, rotate.
Yeah, Mason said yes.
Oh,
Totally.
yeah.
It seems like
Mason has his mate now in Atlanta, so
Oh, that's cool. I'm so happy you tried it and liked it, and yeah.
for those who don't know, mate it's a very popular drink, sort of our tea or something. It's not really a tea, but just for you can Google it. It's called mate, MATE.
Yeah. Um, so getting back to optimizing your model, as you can see, no one is gonna see this bottom part of our honey dipper. Yeah, so we don't want to waste memory and stuff like that by keeping it. Um, so we basically can delete them all these faces. Just a second. Yeah, we just click delete, like the um, delete button. And yeah, uh, as you can see, uh, it's absolutely like saving us some memory and performance. Um, and we need to create this kind of rings around this honey dipper, and let's do them. It's actually pretty easy with spline because we have this torus shape, and it's yeah, pretty much what we was looking for. Let me see, you can switch to this top view, switch to orthographic, can place it here as close as you can. Um, and maybe we can do one ring bigger than the other two. So we may want to make it like this. Probably, yeah. And just duplicate by uh, Command and D on Windows. It's probably Control D. Sorry. Um, yeah, and we just move it just making it bigger. Maybe we can even, yeah, a bit bigger. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We created this kind of thing. Can move it down a little bit, and yeah,
We have the dipper, honey
yeah,
dipper.
Honey dipper. We learned something today. Um,
Yeah.
do you think now are we ready to show how you move from Spline to Webflow? So we don't go into like the color details and all.
yeah.
If
We
we can
can
skip.
just yeah, we can do it in next episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
Just yeah, maybe
That
making it
looks
more
great. What you did
more
in just
visible.
minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, that's good enough. Let's place the camera as we want for the Webflow. Maybe something like this, and we can make a group out of it. Maybe rotate just a tad in this direction. Um, and we can like basically click on expert button, and yeah, we can turn off all these like settings because they're allowing you to rotate the
For
exported
the 3D,
models.
Tino, you work with the camera, but you also work with the lights. No, you can move the lights of the
Yeah, and you
to get
create
different shadows and
you can create different lights and different like things, and yeah, different sources of light, different kind of lights. We can create these spotlights and stuff like that, but we out of time pretty much. I can place the random ones. Maybe this gonna work. Maybe this one would be great. Not sure. Yeah, let's just keep it as is for today's stream. I think it's good enough for our first model. And then um, you can have this good like um, highlights with the color of your choice, and we want it to be this color, um, this yellow. Uh, so yeah, we can change the uh, back background to this color, and yeah, we can just a little bit play with the environment light.
can you save the camera positions to then if you need to edit something else you have always the same side of your
Uh,
object.
no, you can create a different camera, and
Okay.
yeah, and you can work in personal camera, but you always would have this, but just for the sake of you know speed, we are gonna use this one. Uh, and yeah, maybe something like that, just without materials and stuff like that to be able to test it in Webflow. So we're gonna place cameras something like that, maybe here. And you want to make sure like your this settings is turned off because you don't want to let user to kind of rotate it or something like that. In some cases, you want it, but not in our case today. And you just click update, and you copy embed iframe, and yeah, and we're gonna change it to our new model. And as you can see, we have it here now. And yeah, that's how you, like the easiest way to embed your spline scene to the Webflow. It doesn't have like any interactions yet or animations or stuff like that, but you can, you know, build it up. And one thing I want to do is kind of move it a little bit to the right, and
So the
maybe,
animation that you made, like the rotation, is made in Spline or is
yeah,
different?
yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to show it. Uh, Spline has this state thing, so you can basically auto animate the object between states. So we need to create a new state, rotate it to 360 minus 360, and then create event, which is gonna play on load on start, and we want to set it to state, linear, and maybe 4 seconds. As we can see, this thing started rotating. We can uh, um, choose repeat,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's the pretty
Wow.
much the basic animation loop you can create here. One thing I would um, turn a little bit like down is the angle of this jar.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's gonna work better. Yeah,
That's awesome.
and you click update, and yeah, you have to wait for a few seconds maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna update. And yeah, as you
Wow.
can see,
Ah,
It's
now we
really
have this
cool.
this is so cool.
It is.
animated thing, and you actually can do crazy stuff with Spline. That's the one thing, but you can do this look at thing, so it tracks
Mm.
your mouse position
Wow.
and it rotates for you. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and yeah.
That. Yeah, because one thing that you mentioned, uh, you told us is like you cannot use the Webflow interactions to make animation with the spline. So you need to do through code, like for example, scroll, trigger, or something like that. This is you need some custom code, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
For now, at least you will have to use some custom code within Webflow to be
Mm-hmm.
able to trigger some events from Spline and to uh, sync it with Webflow
Mm-hmm.
interactions and stuff like that. But Spline is absolutely a good place to start to at least create some basic things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if your client needs something stylized like this,
Mm-hmm.
it is Spline is no brainer. You just go there, create new project,
Yeah.
create this stuff, and yeah, call it a day. Um,
You make it look very easy, but I
Yeah.
have tried using Spline, and it
It
took
seems
me
like
like
really
three
it's in
hours
yeah, in 30
to
minutes you
make
made an amazing
a
thing.
little donut or something. We have a comment from Diego.
Yeah. So it says, Tino, talk about the pros and cons of using Spline to embed into Webflow versus using 3JS to load the model and include on
mhm.
Webflow page. Thank you, Diego, for the
Yeah.
comment.
Uh, the pros of using Spline as even as just intermediate tool to kind of import your model, because they have this um, import feature
Hmm.
that you can create your models whenever you want. in Maya, in Blender, in different software. And here you can like basically visually place all the lights, tweak materials and stuff like that, and then you can export it, even export it to GLTF. So you have this whole like 3D scene that you can uh, import back to the Blender, but you would have these lights and stuff like that or whatever. And yeah, and you can export it to code and put it in 3JS that like this way. Um Definitely cons of using Spline is because it's in beta, I believe. They really don't have this um, kind of a easy ways to sync it with Webflow
Mm,
interactions and stuff like that. But I'm sure they have this thing on their roadmap, and
yeah.
yeah, maybe 3JS if you have a good like grasp of JavaScript. You can do everything in JavaScript, and this way you can create a scene there. You can
Mhm.
import your models. You can do custom interactions, sync them with Webflow and stuff like that. But it's definitely not for everyone. And if you feel like you're uh, feel better using like doing this kind of stuff in JavaScript, and yeah, why not? It
So
is
it's
cool.
like they you can even include like audios, like environment that you can make the as the one that we are doing in the um, 3D world that we are creating in Edgar Allan. You can add another aspect that maybe Spline is not able to do it. No?
Uh, yeah, but we have in this game a lot of like logic, and
Mhm.
it's really like literally a game where you when you have goals, when you have triggers that you have to kind of fire and stuff like that. And yeah, so we couldn't probably create it in Spline because it hardly depends on JavaScript, but everything like 3D wise, I could create here except maybe of animations like character
Mhm.
animations because it uh, I'm not sure Spline has this bone kind of rigs to be able to animate the characters, and we use this advanced technique of baking materials. So so you really doesn't need to uh,
Mhm.
this lights and like
Yeah.
inside the scene you can create them in Blender and bake them into the material, so the material has this
Mhm.
information about the colors and the light and the shadows.
Yeah.
So that's this way you can get a better result because it's literally the same thing to kind of bring Blender render to the web, which web is not capable to render at the same quality yet. But you can trick it and
Mhm.
using by using baked materials. Yeah.
Yeah, that awesome. We're going to deep dive more in 3JS for whoever want to learn more. But that's another world. Like you can create whatever you want. Is what I'm seeing from you guys is insane. So I think we are going to reach 1 hour already, Florencia. I think was
Yeah.
really accurate this this show. Yes, on
Just in
time.
time. We
Yes,
always
on
go
time.
a little bit longer, but this time we were able to
Yeah,
to
yeah,
yeah, to deliver in time. We have one last comment from Diego,
yeah,
just to close.
yeah.
Um,
This is another thing about the spline plus iframe is that any interaction with the 3D models only happen within the iframe, while the 3JS you can track mouse movement anywhere, for example, to do interactions. Yeah,
that's the problem with using iframes in general, but we will probably cover it in this episodes, and we definitely will cover it in my courses, because it's a very important thing to be able to kind of overcome and work with. But yeah, when you're using even this like plain JS thing, you don't have to worry about divs on top of your 3JS thing.
So what we will do next, because now Diego sort of put there a cliffhanger for the next episode. Where are we going to see next time?
I don't know. As we want, probably next Friday.
If someone has like a request, you can also tweet it to us on we are Edgar Allan at CEO on Twitter, so you can just tweet Tino, or just go to his community and leave a request there, because sometimes someone has like a very particular question that we can cover, and we can like do a whole lot of QA, and so you can solve all your answers live, which is super fun. So that's about it, I think.
That's well, it was a fantastic show today. Thank you, Tino, for all your knowledge and sharing everything, because it's really valuable. And for everybody that is in here, we do that Live every Friday. If you're not subscribed, I will recommend you to subscribe and smash the like button. It's helped us a lot. And this is what we're going to continue doing. It's like what we do in the agency in Edgar Allan. We are doing more and more 3D projects. So I think it's really valuable for the people to see how you can learn 3D, because probably it's going to be the new trend. And if you are starting now, this technology is not new, but now it's getting more trend. So
it's a great moment, right? To start a great year to pick up a new skill or improve. If you're already maybe an illustrator or a designer, you can definitely dig into it.
Absolutely. So well, and if you guys missed any episode, you have our YouTube channel that we are loading all of them. So thank you everybody for being here in the chat. See you next week then.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.